Hello everyone, how are you doing today? I'm back with another video, and in today's video we have an HP 15 notebook laptop, and these are kind of pretty old laptop. And what we're going to do in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to open it up and how you can clean up the fan system, repaste, and pretty much do the internal maintenance for your laptop. You should be doing this service once every couple of years. It's really healthy for your laptop, keeps the temperatures down, the fan lasts longer, and overall is a nice, good performance maintenance. Alright, by doing this service, you're not going to change anything on the system, any configuration or anything like that. Is totally safe. I'm going to go over the tools that we're going to be using, but before we do that, we need to power off the laptop, make sure it's completely off, and then you want to flip it upside down. And now let's go over the tools. Tool number one, it's a good screwdriver set. I really highly recommend these ones. UFIXTEK screwdriver set. They have one of the best screwdrivers out there. I got myself a basic screwdriver set. They have a pro version. We're going to use the basic set in this video, but if you get the pro set, they will include you with an opening tools and a few other stuff. For the opening tools, I'll be using a guitar pick. A metallic guitar pick is really suitable to opening cases and covers. You need an alcohol, isopropylic or isopropylic 99% plus. No, you cannot use a 70% or any other medical alcohol. That's not going to work. Make sure it's 99% isopropylic alcohol. You need a workshop towel. One sheet of the workshop towel. And you need a good thermal paste. I recommend you guys for these models go with an Arctic MX4. If you want to go overkill, you can go with Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut, which is much expensive but higher performance. But for this laptop, I highly recommend you go with an Arctic MX4 or MX5, whichever you can get your hands on. And with this all ready, we're gonna start. Also, you need an old toothbrush to clean the fan. Grab yourself the screwdriver. You wanna grab the Phillips number 0. And first thing first, we're gonna remove the cover right here. This cover has a little C-lock on it, so it will not come out entirely. So all you need to do is to just rotate. So once you did that, the cover is going to pop open like that, and put your finger and then pull it out. All right, once we got this one down, now we're going to remove every other screw that we see. But before we do that, we're going to remove the battery. That should be really easy. Push the flex, slide the battery backward. Now there's 2 screws in here on the front and 1 right there. We're going to remove these 3 screws first. The screws are the same size and height, so don't worry about mismatching them. Once you remove these 3 screws, we're going to disconnect the Wi-Fi board. There's only 1 screw holding it. You can switch to a Phillips number 1. Okay, this one is a tiny screw. You will not make a mistake with any other one. That's for the Wi-Fi. Once you remove it, slide the Wi-Fi board backward. Do not yank it upward. And disconnect the cable. And there we have it. Now, what we want to do, we want to remove every other screw that we see on the bottom cover, including the one in the middle and the one right there. Go ahead and start from one corner and remove all the screws and keep them in a different pile. Also, if you guys like my videos, if you find my videos helpful and helping you guys out, you can support the channel by clicking that like and subscribe. I'll greatly appreciate it. It helps and motivates me to make more videos, take requests, and answer your questions in the comment area. Okay, once we remove all the screws, just double check, make sure you haven't missed any. We want to slide the CD-ROM towards the outside. We want to grab a Phillips 00, and we want to remove 3 chrome screws, flatheads, right under the DVD drive. So remove these 3 chrome screws. Okay, once you remove that one, you want to switch back again to Phillips number 1. Now what we want to do, we want to flip over the laptop. We're going to open it up in a normal position. You want to grab your opening tool and you want to put it right there on the keyboard, just like that. And then you just want to twist it and work yourself every 1 or 2 centimeters. And then you hear those click sounds. and then you want to lift it up from the middle, bring it up, and then it's going to release the rest. and then slowly push it towards the screen, and then flip it backward. Now we're gonna disconnect this cable. By disconnecting, you need to lift up this black cover 90-degree upward, and then you want to slide this flex cable back, and there's your keyboard. Let's put that to one side. Now down here, you want to lift up the jack. This one was black colored. This is a white colored jack. Lift it up 90-degree and slide the flex cable backward. For the power on, same thing. Lift up the jack, and you can use a tweezer if you want, or a finger just, and then slide it backward. It's easier to use a tweezer. Now we're gonna remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws on here. So one small screw, second small screw, all the screws down here are a small one size, so keep them in a one pile. Now that you remove this one in, you want to remove the palm rest. You want to grab the opening tool, you want to stick it between the palm rest and the bottom cover. And all you want to do is just twist it like this. Work yourself all around in the front. Do the side. All the way towards the back. Then you want to grab it. I think I'm missing a screw right in here. No, I did remove the screw, so if it's not budging in, try again. Let me see, I did not miss any screws, so there we go. So you just have to put a little more force to pulling it. Once it's released, grab it, wiggle it around, and it will release the bottom clips. Then you can actually take it outside with a toothbrush, clean it up if yours is dirty. And down here we can see the motherboard, the hard drive, and every other thing in here. So we're going to start disconnecting stuff. We're going to disconnect the speaker cable right at the back. You can use your fingers at the side here on the jack, and then push it backward. Flex cable for the DVD drive. Pull up the jack. Flex cable for the extra USB audio. Put your finger in here, lift it up 90-degree, and slide out the jack. Grab this plastic thing on top of this flex cable for the LCD, and then put your finger right on the board beside it, and then pull this jack upward. Okay? Now, we need to remove the screws. You want to remove everything, every screw that touches the motherboard, one here, there, and there, there. So go ahead and remove these 4 screws. This one is pretty clean, so yours might be dirty. There's one again by the battery, don't miss that one. Also, we can remove the 2 screws for the power jack. So remove these 2 screws beside the power jack that holds the power jack in. It makes your life easy. Okay, one of the screws is long, one of them is short. The short one and the long one goes beside them. Now we're gonna lift this bracket that holds the power jack, put it beside the screws, and then pull out the power jack towards the ceiling. And there we go. And mine came out from the connector. Connector is right underneath. Yours might not come out from the connector. So if you lift it up, leave it like that. Then we're gonna lift up the motherboard. And we need to remove the RAM on the other side, but the RAM is preventing it from coming out. So close a little bit. Remove the RAM, pull these 2 triggers away from each other, and the RAM will come in 45-degree angle and lift it up, because this plastic is not letting the RAM to go out. Once you do that, now we go ahead and lift up the motherboard. There's a hard drive cable goes through here. You can disconnect this before or now, doesn't matter. And there we have the motherboard. It is an open fan. I don't know why they didn't put anything on top. So there we have it. So we're going to close up the rest. We're gonna put this one over here. Now you can remove the fan by removing 2 screws, 1, 2, because you cannot remove the heatsink without removing the fan because the fan extends over the heatsink. So you have to remove 2 screws for the fan. And then you can pick up the fan and put it like that. You can take it outside and clean it with a toothbrush. If you want to disconnect the fan, you want to grab the jack really close to the side of the jack like that. Don't use the cables. Put your fingers right on the side, wiggle it around, and it will release the flex cable, the cable. So that's how you remove it. Now to remove the heatsink, remove the 4 screws that touches the heatsink right there. They have a C-lock on them again. You just have to loosen them up. There we go. Now I don't want to grab it from here. I'm going to grab it from near to here and then lift it up, bring it up. And there's the old thermal paste. If yours is dirty, use a toothbrush again to clean up here. Blow some dry air. This one is pretty clean. So we're going to grab a workshop towel, alcohol. We're going to soak it in. You're going to wipe the excess. Nice and clean. Same thing on the CPU. Clean it nicely. Use a dry part to do second pass. Make sure it's nice and sparkling clean. Now we want to grab our thermal paste. You want to put a 1 drop right in the middle. Don't worry about the size of the drop. Be generous. Once you put that one on there, and there's the C-locks on the screw. You want to align it straight over the CPU. Make sure you bring it down evenly. Hold it down. There's the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. As long as you cross screw them, you're fine. You don't necessarily need to follow the numbers as long as you cross screw them. And the reason for that is to spread the thermal paste evenly over the CPU die. Grab the fan, put the fan connector right in on the motherboard. Squeeze it in there and bring this, make sure the screw holes match. And there we go. Put the 2 screws for the fan. There we go. Once we're done here, make sure the power jack connected nicely in place. You're gonna open up the laptop. Now, we're gonna bring it like that, and we are gonna connect the hard drive connector right there. Make sure it snaps in. And it goes right there. Bring the motherboard, put it in place. Make sure all the flex cables are staying down on the upside of the motherboard. It's not sitting underneath. Once it's nice, the screw holes match. Go ahead and push down the power jack right there. Put the bracket over the power jack. Put the long screw and the short screw. The long one goes right closest to the motherboard. I have a little magnet on my screwdriver. If that's what you guys are thinking what it is a magnet. Now we're going to slide down the flex cable for the DVD drive right inside the jack. Make sure it goes all the way in. Has to go nicely, not with a force. For the bridge, open the jack, push it in, and then lock it down. The speaker cables, right there. And the LCD cable, it goes straight over. Align it, and then push it down. It makes a nice soft click right there. Now we're going to go put the 4 screws that we removed, 2 on the front and 2 at the back of the motherboard. Okay, once we put that one in, double check, make sure everything is in place. You want to grab the top part, the palm rest. You want to align it straight over, and then you want to squeeze the corners. Make sure you hit those nice big click sounds. You want to squeeze all of them. Just hold it, pinch it down, and the back side, gently push it down. Make sure you hit those nice click sounds. Now you're going to put these 5 screws on the palm rest to hold it in place. Once we have those one in there, use the tweezers, open up the lock, slide the flex cable for power on switch right underneath. Close it down, same thing here. Open it up and squeeze it right underneath and close it down. Last thing down here on the keyboard side is to put the keyboard right there, set it down the same way that you removed. Open up the lock, 90 degrees, slide the keyboard right inside the jack, and then lock with 2 fingers this jack. Flip it over, put the front end of the keyboard right under the palm rest. Hold it from the middle, little bit of elevation. Squeeze the corner down, make sure you get nice click sound. Holding it still. With this one, make sure you get that nice click sound and let go. Push the top portion. And there we go. You don't need to push anything on the middle. Now we're going to close it down. We're going to flip it upside down. We want to put the ram that we removed in 45 degrees inside the jack. Make sure the notch on the ram, I know it's not focusing. Make sure the notch on the ram matches the notch right on the DIMM. Bring it down. And then push it towards the motherboard and push it there. Grab the Wi-Fi cable. It's easy to put the cable first. It says number 1. Put the cable on number 1. The second one is for the Bluetooth. Bring it down again in 45 degrees inside the jack. Make sure it goes inside the jack. Grab the screw. This one has a bracket to hold it. There's no screw on the ram, but on this one, if you push, it keeps coming up. So you just got to put that single tiny screw. Run the cable through the grooves right there. Switch back again to Phillips 00. And put these tiny flat-headed screws right under the DVD drive. Now we're going to grab the DVD drive. We're going to slide it right in there. You're going to switch. We finish with that one for now. We're going to switch back again to Phillips number 1. And we're going to put all the screws that every screw hole that you see here, we're going to put all the screws at the same size and height. So just put them in the screw holes. And that should cover up today's video. But I'm just going to finish putting up the screws. To put the cover in here, in case you might want to know, you put the front end of the cover right here, front end of the laptop, bring it down in 45, push it down, push this side beside the screw, push this side, push the middle, and then while you're holding it, you can just tighten up the screw, and it's going to push the cover. Just push it down and makes nice click. There, you see there's a tiny opening, and there we have it. And that's it for today's video. I hope you guys like this video. If you have any question or requests, feel free to leave them in a video comment. I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Just gonna put all the screws